Hi guys, I'm back. I'm Tabitha Yount, the owner of Elegant Homes and Interiors, and I'm super excited to be here. I tried this a little bit ago, so let me know if you guys can hear me and everything is good on your end. But come on here and tell me hello, and tell me if you're watching this on replay and where you guys are coming from. It's kind of a snowy, blistery day today, and so I figured why not kind of come on here and have a talk with you guys. We usually do Tuesday talks with Tabitha, but Tuesday I was decorating and doing, well, honestly taking down. We're taking down all the Christmas still, and this was the last week for us to do that. So I thought, why not? Let's just come on here and say hello. So come on here and tell me hello and tell me if you're watching. Okay, I'm gonna get started. How to take the fear out of decorating your house. I think this is a very big thing. You know, I get all kinds of questions all the time. I get DM'd all these different things, pictures of people's houses and things like that. And one of the things that comes to me every time I listen or I hear something, that, you know, I get some of these messages or people call me and talk about these things. One of the things that I think about is fear. And it seems like everybody tends to have these kind of fears and why they're wrapped around decorating. But I want to come on here and talk about some different things today. One of the things that really stood out to me, I'm going to just get it right into it. You know what? I'm just going to tell you one of the questions that God sent to me overnight. And I really think this is super important because a lot of you guys can relate to this, okay? So I'm going to start off with that. Come on here and tell me hello. One of the ladies sent me, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because that's not nice of me. She said, we built our home 3 years ago, and 3 years later, most every room goes undecorated because I just don't know where to start. And I have a little fear around starting. Does that sound like you? Our living room literally is empty besides one large sofa and a rug and a table. So please help. Okay, so if this sounds like you guys, then hop on here and tell me hello. One of the things I want to talk about is fear of decorating. It seems like a lot of you guys have so much fear around decorating and where do you begin and all the things. And a lot of times I get these messages like, you know, where do I begin and what do I do? So I kind of went up and pulled some statistics up for you guys, and it said, Houzz, if you guys are ever following, Houzz is a really good place. And when I went on there, I looked at this and it said 70% of Americans in 2023 will be remodeling or decorating their home. 70%. And they basically said that that is because a lot of people were home in 2020. And along that is, you know, most people are still at home. Some people are not. We're not. But a lot of people, when they were home, they realized that they didn't like the space that they were living in. So that is based on 70% people will decorate or remodel this year. Is that not crazy? Okay, so when I seen that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's insane. That's insane. So I started thinking, why is there so much fear around decorating, and how can I help everyone that watches kind of have that eliminated? Well, that kind of starts back to where we were at several years ago when I thought, I basically came up with and thought, how do we get people to decorate their homes and where do they start and all the things? So I started the Elegant Community. But with that being said, I'm going to kind of dive into what you can do if you have fear around decorating. And if you haven't decorated or done anything different and you go home every single evening and you just feel like it's just not you, it doesn't represent you and your family, and you don't really want to go home. You don't know how many people tell me this, that they are scared to entertain or they are embarrassed about their houses. These are the words that I get told over and over and over, and they don't really know how to even begin that. So I started thinking I need to do a video and tell you guys what I'm thinking, how to get started and things like that. But one of the things I want to tell you is to start small. Everybody thinks when they watch my page that they see these beautiful pictures up there and they're uploaded and all the things, and they think, oh my gosh, we've got to remodel our house and do all the things. So tell me, have you guys remodeled or did anything new to your house in the last 7 years? Because they say women want to change their house in 7 years. Men, 10 to 20 years. That has changed. Because when I first started this, men would remodel their houses every 10 years. Women every 7 years have stayed for women. So what I want to say is start small. Have you guys changed anything in your house? Let me know below. Okay. But one of the things I want to say is to start small. You don't have to go in and renovate and tear down kitchen cabinets and tear down a wall and do all of the things. Sometimes the most impressive things for yourself to feel better about your house are the smallest little things, okay? I'm going to say that again. Some of the most important things that you can do is small things like adding new fresh pillows to your living room couch, okay? That helps you feel like it's fresh and renewed. And it just gives you a sense of well-being with that, okay? So one of the things also is, adding some little things, rearranging your furniture. Okay, guys, nobody does this. Nobody talks about this. But when you start cleaning and decluttering, which we always talk about, you always want to clean and declutter because that really gets you motivated. One of the things that I love about that is decluttering gets you motivated to do other things in your house. So that's always why I say start with that. But let's go back to talking about rearranging your furniture. Rearranging your furniture, guys, can get you just a sense of calmness, and it can make you feel like it's a new space with just keeping the same things that you have and rearranging it. Also, you can start cleaning up under there, and it makes you just have this calmness about it, and it gives you something new to look at, and it gives you a renewal in the house, okay? So these are things that you can do that are inexpensive or doesn't cost you any money, okay? Add some throws. I think that that's really important. I love in this time of the year when it's a little colder out, there's snow or whatever's going on in your area, to add some throws. Throw pillows and throws are just the number one things that I always say that gives you different life. You can add color, a different color to your living room. It just kind of gives you that warmth and texture that you have, okay? Adding new lamps does the same thing. If you're not into the lamp, guys, you are going to hear this over and over and over, regardless if you're in my elegant community or not. Adding lamps just gives a warm glow to the room, okay? So you need to be doing some of these little things, or when you rearrange your furniture, rearrange your distribute of light. Because, of course, here in Missouri, I don't know about you guys, but we don't have very much light in the evening, and it gets dark around 5 o'clock. So when I come home, sometimes I come home at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's dark, and no one wants to come home to a dark house. We want to feel like it's alive and fresh and kind of gives you a warm glow from the windows. So one of the things you can do is add new lamps or redistribute the lamps in your house, okay? One of the things that I also want to tell you is doing this, you need to go room by room, okay? Don't try to tackle every single space in the house. Go to the room that you use the most or the room that needs the most love, okay? Because some of you guys have that and you feel like, where do I even begin? So room by room. I feel like when I say that, I'm not kidding you. I don't, this was not really, but Room by Room was a show in I believe in the 90s. And it really, and it talked about room by room and how you would go and decorate that. Now, I'm really telling my age. Instead of me doing anything, in the 90s, I loved watching HGTV and they had room by room. So I'm telling you to do this. When you're thinking about decorating your home, to eliminate some fear, go small and do room by room, okay? So that will truly help you not get overwhelmed when you're doing this. So doing it room by room is so important. Okay, another thing I want you to do is when you're doing little vignettes and things like that in your house, I'm not telling you to reinvent anything. I'm talking about just simply decorating. When you're doing these things, you can get inspiration and tips and tricks from our workshops. We host workshops that are free, and you guys can be able to go in there and you guys can see these things. Good morning, good morning. So that is really, truly important. When you're going in there, you can get tips and tricks of how to decorate and how to do trays and things like that. So make sure that you're going into these free workshops because it gives you tips and tricks of how to decorate your house. So when you're trying to get inspiration for doing these little rooms, room by room, make sure you're looking. And I know Pinterest is big and I love Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest and things like that. But sometimes it's a little overwhelming to see the big picture and not have a plan. Okay. So what I want you to do is to do small things and do them little by little. And if you get overwhelmed, walk away. That's one of the things that I always tell everybody. Walk away and leave it for a little bit. Because that kind of, you come back and you get a little refresh new and you can see what you didn't see when you're overwhelmed and doing it the first time. So there's no wrong way of decorating. You just kind of got to walk away from it and come back and look at it, okay? One of the things that I definitely recommend is taking a picture. I'm actually literally doing the live with my phone, so this is like my phone case, but take a picture of your room or the things that you're trying to decorate. Leave it, don't address it right then. Come back to it and see what really needs to be changed. If you can find lots of things that you want to change, then make sure that you go in there and you redo it at a different time, okay? But always just leaving it for a little bit and sometimes coming back. We all do that. We do that as interior designers and things like that. If you think I can come up with ideas for your house immediately, I cannot. Great tips. Thank you. Thank you. So definitely take a picture, walk away from it, and come back to it. There's no rhyme or reason. And you're not in a hurry. So there's no race here when you're doing these things. But make sure you do it room by room, okay? Take some steps on, like different steps that you want. Like if you know that something that is the color in your living room that you don't like. So for instance, like if you think about it and you look at the room and you take into pictures and you've looked at all the things and you think that it's something bigger, make sure that you take time to really focus on that and get into some different groups and different things like this. We can post some beautiful pictures, guys, on here, but it doesn't show you how and the steps to do it room by room, okay? So when you're doing that, don't get overwhelmed. Make sure that you're taking the time to really focus in and study the rooms that you love. Like if you're on Pinterest and you're looking at those things and you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I really love this style. Make sure that you're taking some time to really study what it is about that room that you love. And it may just be one thing. I tell a lot of my customers this, that it may just be one thing that you like about that room that keeps attracting you to it, okay? So make sure that you take your time and look these things over. That's what I really want to say. Okay, find inspiration and support. It's so important, guys. I know I talk about this all the time. It's because some of the things that we do on here, we give, like next week, we are going to be doing a winter decorating workshop. It's free. It's literally free. All you have to do is show up and watch and look at me decorating, and I know you'll get some tips from that. But if it's beyond just decorating with these few little things, then one of the things that I really want you to do is to go in there and, join the Elegant community. If it's not my Elegant community, if it's not my community for decorating, it's $17 a month. I don't have any problem telling you that. If you're not joining these communities, then make sure you get in somewhere that helps you get inspiration and helps you guide you. One of the things the ladies have said, we took a poll in there, and one of the things, the number one thing that people said about my Elegant community is that they love that they could post pictures and that I can comment on that, okay? I can give them inspiration, I can give them guidance and directions. So if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and you know you have a lot of things to do, get in that. For $17 a month, that's a way that you can have an interior designer at your foot, okay? So basically, I come in there and I say, hey, I would suggest this, and I give you pictures and things like that. Not to mention, we give weekly, we go in depth about what we do, tips, tricks, things like that. All the different things that we do every week, we'll go in there and I'll do this just like this, and we give live information and we talk about that. I either show you, demonstrate, or anything. So it is so important to get in these kind of groups to get that kind of support, okay? If you're really struggling on your house, it's so important, guys, to do this. Okay, one of the decorating things, the number one decorating mistake last year, let me see if I can pull it up. I thought that was very interesting, because they said that the number one thing is that people just don't start. Simply, they're saying that people don't start because they're afraid of doing it wrong. So I want you guys to get started this year. The number one thing that I want you to do, this is your homework for everybody that's listening, is to take a list of everything that you want to do in your house, okay? I want you to go in there, take a list of everything that you want, and then little by little, go off that checklist. Get into a group. Get into a page like this that supports you. Do all those kind of things, because I promise you, you will end the year so much better than you started it. And that's the most important thing. That's what I really want. And in this group and this page is that it inspires you to do better and to live a better life. Okay, guys? If you have any questions, then leave them below. And hey, I'll leave you a link to the Elegant community if that's something that you're interested in. And I love hearing from you guys, and I definitely love seeing all your pictures. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Tabitha's Friday Favorites. And you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.